Well, hello, my beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for December 2023. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I'll never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay, let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your monthly reading for December. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But first of all, I just want to apologize for the delay in this reading. Unfortunately, on my way back from my folks' house, my car broke down and I was left stranded for quite some time. So everything is in delay. So I do apologize there, but I'm back in my usual space and I'm truly grateful. So let's see what's coming in for December for you. Of course, by the time you get this, it will be like, the first week of December. So I will take a peek into January for you as well, just to see what's going on there. But what can we say about December, apart from the fact that it's flown by so quickly this year and already we are at the end of the year? Now, it has been a bit of a roller coaster year, full of ups, downs, and plot twists for us all collectively. But ultimately, this is a time to look back at our accomplishments and feel proud of ourselves and re-strategize any losses in order to learn from them and conquer them in 2024. Now, in terms of planetary alignments, December seems to be the calmest month of all. And as I am a Scorpio myself, I'm a little bit suspicious whenever the planets are so quiet, because it tends to mean hidden agendas coming to light as we move into 2024. And that could be on a personal level as well as a global scale. But I'm actually going to embrace this downtime as well as keep vigilant. However, we do have a couple of notable mini plot twists at the end of 2023 with Mercury, planet of communication, actioning its final retrograde. Now, that occurs on the 13th of December and it will last until New Year's Day. Okay, so from the middle of December, you might encounter someone bringing up a touchy subject, or you may even be misconstrued yourself, causing an awkward moment. Also, it's actually a perfect time to keep an eye on all correspondence, emails, phone calls, texts, etc., as electronic devices tend to get affected during a Mercury retrograde. So whether it's a website crashing when you're about to pay for something, the internet going down periodically, getting locked out of your account even though you have the right password, delayed functions, important messages going to spam folders, or not even sending at all, this is a time period where things can get a little bit hectic, shall we say. Now also, even hard copy mail or deliveries can get lost or damaged during a Mercury retrograde, so it can really test your patience. As always, it's a great time to get into the routine of saving down any monthly statements from establishments where you house your finances, just in case these areas are affected too, because we will see many more gremlins in the economic system as we move through 2024, and it's a great habit to pick up during this Mercury retrograde, as you will return to it time and time again and use the energy to your advantage. Now, Mercury retrogrades, they're not all bad. They actually give us an opportunity at second chances in all areas of life. So it's time to take a step back and get a bird's eye view. And if there's anything you wish to revisit, the middle of December is the perfect time to do it. Also, you can use this winding down time to connect to nature and also reconnect with yourself. You'll actually be pleased to hear that Mars has moved out of the sign of Scorpio and into the sign of Sagittarius, and this brings with it a huge boost of energy, better luck, and it prompts us to believe in ourselves, reinforcing an important truth. Anything is possible. So dream big, be bold, and strive forward towards your goals and dreams. It's actually a perfect end-of-year alignment, as it helps us all to plan and focus on what we want to achieve in 2024. But at the same time, it lends a playful influence to let our hair down, enjoy ourselves, and get really curious about new adventures. Now, during this period, you may also find yourself looking at booking a vacation or taking one and moving closer to the sun for 2024. And if your budget does not allow for such a thing, your visions are actually tapping into the law of attraction to make those visions become a reality. Sagittarius season is heavily connected to Jupiter, planet of good luck, fortune, and expansion. So a sudden turn of luck will put you in a position to be able to make your dreams become a reality, because delivering extra resources is what Jupiter does best, okay? Now, also, with every positive, there is a negative, of course, and Mars is a bit of a warlord. So its move into Sagittarius can see us having heated debates, brutally honest conversations that are hard to hear, and pockets of sporadic crisis globally. But ultimately, this period is a time to reconnect with your true self and those you care about, and to look ahead towards the future with a little bit more optimism for the incoming year, okay? Now, looking at your cards, wow, you have a lot going on. I definitely see some luck coming your way. Also, I see that you're really focused on your finances. And I see that you're moving forward and really strategizing for next year already. Your first card there is the Wheel of Fortune. So you're turning your life around for the positive. This is a card that indicates a lot of you beautiful Capricorns, you strive to make your own luck, but a little bit of help from the universe wouldn't go amiss. So I definitely see that, Lady Luck steps in and brings a little extra fortune and a lucky break for you this month. And anything that you're taking a gamble on, as long as it is a calculated risk and you've done your due diligence, I definitely see that it'll work out perfectly for you there as well. Now, a lot of you may be thinking about your destiny, your true north, or your true life's purpose and mission, because this card is a card of destiny. You may be thinking about where you feel you belong, and also thinking about your money, because the Ten of Pentacles is present in your protagonist energy. So you're keeping an eye on your finances in order to try and be very savvy and not overindulge or overspend this month. And I feel like you're trying to keep, a tight rein on your finances there. Now, at the beginning of the month, the 12th house is governing you, and that's the deepest part of your chart. So you may feel a little bit more sensitive than usual. This is time to connect to your higher self, and I feel some of you may connect more to a spiritual path during this time and develop a deeper sense of awareness to receive important messages from, your guides and, deepen your personal growth as well. You may feel like withdrawing briefly to focus on important projects or important people, and anything that you've been super busy on, some of you will want to just kick back, relax, and enjoy yourself to release and recharge your batteries. But ultimately, there's an energy here as well. Some of you may want to book a spiritual retreat or just a getaway where you can just relax and really, take stock of all that you've achieved this year and all the things that you want to focus on for next year as well. I also want you to be aware that your 7th house influences you as you move through the end of the month, and that's when we move into your season, my beautiful Capricorn. So any beautiful Capricorns out there who have a birthday in December, happy birthday for that time. I hope you have the most magical time indeed. Now, that 7th house, it's all about people in your everyday circumstances, deepening your partnerships and alliances. And, some of you may even start up a business with people that you trust. It's always good to get a contract in place, whoever you're deciding to partner up with, just in case. I don't see anything negative here, but it's always good to be prepared. And I feel any partnership, be it romance, business, or friendships, you'll be more discerning about the company that you keep. And you'll be, really observing who's got your back and who certainly does not have your back as well there. Now, of course, the Wheel of Fortune represents change. It says they're changing cycles. So I definitely see that you are in a period of restructuring your world in some way. Now, this could be something on a localized scale, like looking at diet, exercise routines, sleeping patterns, or it could even be that you're going to restructure your home in some way, DIY or decluttering. And I definitely see that you are purifying your energy in order to release anything that has not been working for you as well. Now, the resistance position tells me that some of you have been feeling a little bit stuck or unmotivated, and that's totally not like you. So I feel some of you have been burning the candle at both ends, and you're feeling a bit drained in your energy, and it's a perpetuating cycle because there's a lot of cycles going on in your reading in the month of December. The Wheel of Fortune is a cycle, the world is a cycle, and also the Temperance card is a cycle. So I feel a lot of you have been in this, repetitive cycle, and it may have chipped away at your sense of, spontaneity or excitement or enthusiasm for something. Now, because you're so talented and gifted at whatever it is that you do, you may, have got that good because it is a repetitive cycle. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And some of you are feeling like, oh, you know what, I wish something would change. But you're actually a master or a mistress of your craft. So really take stock and give yourself credit for how far you've come and how well you're doing. Even though you may feel that you want to be a little bit further along on your path, you're exactly on the right position of your path to achieve whatever it is you set out to do. And I definitely see it's been difficult for you. We've got a 3 of Swords there. So something has been a struggle, and I feel like you are overcoming that struggle. And some of you, especially when it comes to love, for example, you may have had some difficulties in the love area of your life. And I feel like you are getting closure this month on anything that has hurt you in the past, or whether it's, someone wounded you, whether it's a friend or just words that have wounded you, or something that has in some way been a little bit difficult to digest. I definitely get a sense you're getting closure on it and you're moving away from it. And I feel like you're letting go. Now, we do have that 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles, of course, is all about stability. It's about money. So a lot of you are going to be focused on your finances this month. And I feel like you're trying to save as much as you can, even though it can be a time period where people, spend excessively or spend on things that perhaps they wouldn't usually. Now, I do see that you will get some good deals, okay, if you are spending this month. But I definitely get a sense here that you are more inclined to save this month, especially at the beginning of the month. And I will see what's coming for you financially at the end of the month, because the 3 of Swords there, when you apply it to money, it can indicate that there is some sort of financial miscommunication or some sort of confusion regarding money. So I would definitely say, download your statements when it comes to your financial institutions, just in case you can prove the amount that you have in your account. But also it could be that you thought something was one price and it was actually a little bit higher than you were expecting, and you purchase it and you didn't realize. So I feel it's really important to just do a little bit of extra checking before you purchase something. I mean, of course, you could return it if you want to, and I definitely see some of you will return products or something that you thought, hang on a minute, that was a bit expensive. That's not right. I feel like you will return it, and you will of course get a return on your finances there. But also the 10 of Pentacles is about the family unit. So a lot of you may be thinking about your place in the family unit, or where you feel like you belong. And I feel some of you, if you've been having some sort of conflict within the family unit, I feel that some of you will notice a change in circumstances. I feel if there's someone who has upset you or hurt you, I feel there will be an olive branch given out. Or if you feel like you've hurt somebody, I feel like you may be thinking about extending the olive branch. But ultimately, I feel like you are following your heart in all your endeavors. And the 10 of Pentacles is really about, security, stability. So you're in a protective mode. Some of you are, looking forward to being in the company of the people that you consider your soul tribe. And I feel that wonderful security there's just a familiarity about this card. So I feel that wonderful security is going to help you throughout the month. Now, the 10 of Pentacles can also indicate some of you are thinking about how you can increase your finances. So you may take up a second stream of income, because we have so many cycles here. Some of you are like going to have this boost of energy in the middle of the month, and ideas come to the fore, and this brilliant spark, this idea that you have, this vision of an adventure for the future, could become very lucrative indeed and bring in a lot of money for you. This is a card of success, material abundance, mastery, but also wealth and knowledge. And I feel like you are very dedicated to whatever it is that you're doing. This is dedication to hard work, and it's about claiming ownership of everything that you've accomplished so far. Whether it's money related or not, I feel like you sit on, a history of knowledge, and I feel that you are going from strength to strength there as well. Okay. Now, some of you, not all of you, I want you to be aware of this. Some of you may have gone through a very difficult process in the last couple of months or the last year, where you lost someone who is really dear to you, and you may have to deal with something difficult like, an inheritance. And of course, you'd rather have that person here But I feel, if the inheritance has been delayed for some reason, I feel like things get freed up and that money will be delivered to you in the month of December. And it may be that you hear news on it in December and you actually get it at the end of December or in January. But I definitely see that you will get that money, okay? Also, I want to send you a huge hug out there and so much love. I feel butterflies are going to be a symbol or a sign for you regarding that person who has crossed over. So I feel so much love and a huge smile. There's something about the smile. It's like, remember the smile is coming through, but also butterflies. So pay close attention there as well. And with respect, I'll move away from that energy. The Ten of Pentacles, some of you are thinking about real estate or your home in some way. It could be that you're changing things around the home, as I said, DIY, decluttering, restructuring, or, doing, just a lick of paint. Or perhaps you're preparing for people, family, friends to come over. And I definitely get a sense that you are, changing the familiar in some way. And I definitely get a sense here that some of you are looking at your goals and using your knowledge to get to where you want to go. I feel like your knowledge is a treasure. Okay, we all have different amounts of knowledge in different areas, and I feel like you'll use it to your advantage. Now, they are giving me a message here about the ancestors. I feel it's also a similar message. Butterflies are going to be very relevant to let you know that the ancestors walk by your side. And some of you, it's almost like you're expecting 2024 to be a very difficult year, or you're preparing, because I get a sense of prepare energy coming through. I feel you're expecting difficulty, okay? But I feel like you have learned to ride the wave of life. Now, don't get me wrong, 2024 is going to be a bumpy road for all of us collectively. We all know that. You don't need to have me to tell you that. We can all feel it, but I know that there is some shifts that are occurring that may surprise us all, let's put it that way. I haven't tapped into it fully, but I will, especially around about March, April time. But as I said, I'll go into it deeper. I don't like to go too far ahead because it can change the energy of how I read in the moment. So I'll just leave it like that, especially when there's so many energies that I'm dealing with. Now, we do have the star energy. So if you're in a career, you're standing out from the crowd. You're definitely getting recognition for hard work. Some of you are going to receive a bonus or an increase in your finance. And I definitely get a sense here that some of you may have been hoping for a raise or a promotion, and some of you may feel that you've been passed over in some way. And I feel that there is a promotion available for you, and I feel either it comes in at the end of the month, because it just feels like you lost out on something, but then you gain. They're actually giving me the word gain, G-A-I-N, gain. Yes, they're giving me that word. You gain something else. So it could be that a new promotion or a new role becomes available, and the people who are behind the scenes choosing who gets to elevate, they are aware that this new role will become available, and they want to offer you that one instead of the one that you feel like you lost out on, okay? So I feel like there is some sort of move in your career chain for you. And I feel like there's a new project. There is more responsibility. Don't get me wrong. I feel like this new role will be a bit of a struggle. You're really capable of doing it, and you're really fair boss, because I see you being in a leadership role, a managerial role, things like that. I feel like it will be difficult, okay? And I feel that someone left that position because it was so difficult. But I feel more than anything, it was a person who was making that person, their career, difficult. So, for example, if you step into this role, you may have someone who is above you in that role, and it's like they are really critical. They are someone who is quite negative. They're micromanaging, that sort of thing. And I feel you actually win this person over. Okay, so I actually see that not everybody gets on well with whoever this person is, but you will win this person over, and you're not even trying. You're just being your wonderful, authentic self. Okay, so just remember that. I feel that this person, they'll settle down once they see that you're in command, you know what you're doing, and you're really talented and gifted, because I feel the past person, whoever leaves this role, they were just not on it like you are, okay? Now, some of you are an entrepreneur, and you may have found business a little bit difficult recently, or slow, okay? I definitely see things pick up pace as we move into 2024. I feel things have been a little bit stagnant. It's almost like people have been preparing and holding on to their finances a little bit longer than usual. And of course, that's because it's reflecting the economic state of the world at the moment. But I also see that there will be more traffic towards your product or service, whatever it is, and I feel you're going to be really busy as you move into 2024. Don't get me wrong, it's going to pick up pace in the sort of middle of the month for December for you, but it feels like loads of really awesome things are happening for you in 2024. Now, the star also indicates some of you are healing, especially since you have the Three of Swords there. Some of you may have a procedure or a surgery booked for this month, and, you know, I feel like you'll be recovering from that. They really are giving me this message: you must rest, because you may be tempted to get back into the mix of things quicker than usual, because you don't like to sit stationary in one place for such a long time. But they really are telling me you must rest, okay? Otherwise, you will set yourself back. It will hurt you more long term if you don't, okay? So we do have that star energy, which is about shining your light, okay? It's like being all that you can be. And it's really interesting because we have the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles can be like, you know, been there, done that, feeling really like fed up or tired of a situation. Things have got a little bit dull, boring, stagnant, because sometimes we can create a life of stability for ourselves, right? You know, we're told that society, we need to buy the house, we need to have the lifestyle, or save some money. And, you know, in order to do all those things, because let's face it, inflation goes up, wages not so much, you know, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. So people start cutting back on things that perhaps are not particularly necessary, and it can start to limit fun. So some of you are like, you want more spontaneity, more fun, more freedom. And I'm being given a song right now because I just get the sense that some of you, something has got a little bit dull or boring. It could be your love life is a little bit stagnant. Nothing's happening there if you're single. It could be that you are finding your career just, you know, you've hit a glass ceiling and it just feels like it's not going anywhere, and you may decide to leave a position. When you leave that position, if you're one of the, I feel about like 27% of my beautiful Capricorns are actually leaving a position and moving into a new sector. Whoever you're leaving, they are devastated. They're not going to show it, but actually they are really sorry that you're gone. But I feel it was out of their hands. They couldn't offer you anything more because they were not fully in control. I feel like there's like a silent partner, or, you know, some sort of, you know, hierarchy that is like cutting back. Okay, so I just see that there as well. Now, also, with the star energy, I feel like you are choosing healthier things in life this month, especially since this time seems to be a time of excess. There's lots of products that are they're tempting us that are really nice to perhaps indulge in, and I feel you are trying your best to create balance there. Also, I feel like you're being really hopeful about the future, but at the same time you're being really cautious, because I feel like you're protecting your energy and, you know, really looking after your family or saving, because you feel that 2024 is going to be that bumpy road. Your intuition is on point. Now, some of you are wishing for money, and the universe is going to deliver. So some of you, and I'm going to pull a card on this, some of you may actually win something. Now, I'm not saying go out there, play the lottery or get a scratch card or any of those things, but I definitely see that there is a potential for about 15%, and that's quite high. 15% of my beautiful Capricorns winning something this month, okay? It could be financially related, or it could be, you know, something that has value. Ultimately, I see that you are looking at value, making sure that you get the best out of life. High Priestess. And the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you may have a small win, and intuitively, you know it's going to happen. It just feels like, I'm just going to give you an example, right? If you're working in a company, for example, and they're doing like a raffle, and there is something that is big on offer for a prize, when that person comes around to give you a raffle ticket, there's going to be something in you that says, this is mine. I got this. I'm going to win this. Or if you're walking past a store and suddenly you get this like, you know what? I should play the lottery today. I just feel it. I don't know why. I just do. Listen to your hunches, okay? But also I'm getting an energy here of the High Priestess can be a little bit of a cautious energy. So I feel some of you, if you're offered something, you may be like, what's the catch? Okay, so I definitely get a sense here if you're going for a new job, because I definitely get this major energy from my beautiful Capricorns. If you're in a position and you just got a bonus, I see you moving into either a new role or a new position. And what I mean by that is you could be moving into a new role in the same company, so you're getting a promotion, or a new position in a different company, or even, you know, launching your own business, and you may be feeling a little bit cautious about this move, but ultimately I feel that it's a start of something really exciting, and I feel some of you are going to learn new skills there, and you're really going to put the effort in. You're being really practical, and it brings in more money. Okay, so I definitely see that there is something positive there for those who are in the working environment. Now, if you're retired, some of you are thinking about your pension, because the Ten of Pentacles, of course, is the amount you've accumulated in your 401k or in your pension pot. And I feel some of you are going to hear about a slight increase in your pension as well, which is going to just give you a little bit of extra in your pocket, which is nice. Of course, it's better to be in your pocket than someone else's. And I feel it may give you the ability to book a vacation, but ultimately, if you're retired, I feel like you're more focused on your life's purpose. The projects that you're doing. Some of you may think about traveling or seeing the world. You may have been putting that off for a while because you're a bit worried about finances, but I definitely see there's some sort of news that comes in that helps you go, you know what, I can book that. I'm going to go and take that adventure. I also see delays. Okay, so if you have something booked, I see delays. I mean, it is the season where people get delayed. Whether you celebrate the season or not, wherever you're traveling, there's definitely going to be a delay. Okay, and it's showing up heavily in your resistance position. I mean, the Chariot card is a travel card. The World card is to, pick a place wherever in the world and go there and enjoy yourself. And we've got the Ace of Wands, which is action, but it's in the resistance position. So it's like you got it in the reverse. Okay. So I feel anywhere you think about going in the next month or so, and even just into January is what I see there, there's going to be some delays. Okay. Now I do feel some of you, and this is a little bit annoying, some of you may not be financially recompensed for that. Okay, so it could be if, there's a contract between, like, if you're taking a plane somewhere, if there's like a governing body that says, you will be only compensated if you're delayed for 5 hours, right? And then your plane takes off at 4 hours and 58 seconds, right? They're not going to honor it. So I really feel it's like just under the radar. It will be delayed, but they will make sure they're within the window so they don't have to compensate. And that will be a little bit frustrating. So that is coming through there as well. Okay. Now we do have the Chariot card. It's in the resistance position. So it's like you got it in the reverse there. Now, this is all about feeling a bit stagnant or feeling like you need to take a pause to really take stock of what's been going on and how to move forward. Some of you may be giving up something and you feel it's not working for you. It makes you feel low energy. It makes you feel, just stuck in some way. Now, this could be a food substance. It could be a person. It could be a situation where you feel it's draining. And some of you have experienced a rejection in some area of your life and you just feel a little bit, stuck in a position right now where you're like, well, where to next? And it may hurt because that Three of Swords is like, it's painful. We've got the Ace of Wands there in the resistance position, which can indicate something was either a false start or a rejection or something didn't go your way. And you're just taking stock of how to, change an approach. I feel the goal is the same. You get to where you want to go. You're following your heart. And I really get this sense of go big or go home in your energy. And whatever it is, you turn it around. You turn it in your favor and you reach your goal. Okay, I definitely see success here. Anything that's in the resistance position, it goes into the upright at the end of the month. So I definitely see travel will be better for you at the end of the month, even though there's still going to be a slight delay. And I feel that you are going to move forward and be triumphant in whatever it is that you have your eyes on to achieve. Now, this is a card of dedication, and you're also going to see progress. You're going to make progress to anything that you commit yourself to, even if it's a relationship. Okay, some of you are looking at the strains in a marriage. If you're in a high-level commitment with somebody, I feel some of you, things may be a little bit tight or a little bit frustrating during this period, especially if you've got like family over. It just puts an extra strain on things, but I feel there's a lot of love here. So I feel you and this person, you will harmonize and balance things out, but it is a period where people can have heated debates or snap at each other because Mars is in the mix and it's Sagittarius season. Sagittarius season is all about impromptu energy or spontaneity. So it can be like a flash of annoyance and then everything goes back to normal. I feel both parties take accountability for their actions as well. Now, this is a card of empowerment, so I feel that you are going to enter 2024 on a really strong note and in a really good position. But some of you have some major decisions to make, and it could be a directional change. Some of you may be thinking about where you belong in the world. You may be thinking about emigrating or traveling, or, you're thinking about freeing up your energy. And some of you may even have a second stream of income and be spreading your energy a little bit thin. So just make sure that you have enough, that you're not, operating from an empty cup. Otherwise, you'll completely burn yourself out, and there's fatigue there as well. So you don't want to be too overloaded. Now, the World card, it's in the resistance position, okay? There's some unfinished business in your life in some way, and you're trying to get closure on that. And I definitely see that you're going to be very productive, you're working really hard, and you're going to tie up loose ends and get all your tasks and responsibilities seen to. However, it feels like you don't have enough time. And I feel like you may be like spinning plates or, doing a lot of multitasking. But I feel by the end of the month, you will look back and think, I did everything I possibly could, and I got everything I could do done. But I feel it will be a bit of a stretch. It's almost like third week of December, things get a little bit hectic for you, and it's like you're rushing around trying to do all the stuff. So, with the Temperance card in this position, it's like if you can try to temper your energy, if you know that you have a deadline, maybe work on it a little bit earlier. I work really well under pressure, so I may have like a month to do something, and then like 3 days before the actual deadline, I'd be like, probably should start that thing, probably should do it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, get it done. But then I get it done to the best of my ability. If I was doing it at a slow moving pace, sometimes I get a little bit disinterested, and that's probably because of my moon energy. But I just, I have that intense focus at first, and then I start to fizzle out and say, what else is exciting to do? So I feel there is a little bit of that coming through, but I do feel like you tie up loose ends and get everything done on target. Okay. Now the World card also, it will be in the upright by the end of the month. And I feel that this is about reaching your goal, completing your tasks, and also learning a lot of lessons. They were giving me a song earlier and it went away, so I couldn't really tell you it, but they're giving me the song again, so now I can actually connect to the lyrics of it. One moment, please. Young hearts, run free. Who wants to live in a trouble and strife? My mind must be free to learn all I can about me. Okay, that's a very famous song, okay? Young Hearts Run Free, of course. It's called Young Hearts. Now, either you're going to hear that song and it's relevant to your situation because it means you're about to achieve a goal, okay? Because this is a goal card. It could also be regarding travel. So listen out for that song. I feel it comes with some sort of celebratory energy, something that you will be excited about. But I mean, if you really just take the lyrics, because those lyrics, they do not run together. It's like my guides gave me like pockets of that song. So I feel like you are, trying to open yourself up to a little bit more freedom, more fun, more playfulness. And I mean, you're trying to limit any trouble or strife, literally as the song says. So you're trying to bring harmony and balance into your world, but also you're learning a little bit more about you and what you want. And, some of you may be in a very nostalgic mode in the month of December, and you may even be thinking about, your family lineage, your heritage, and those who walked before you, and, how they, ran their life and tried so hard and sacrificed everything so that you could be where you are today. And I feel like you are carrying that baton, and it just feels like you are very highly aware of that as you move through the month, okay? So some of you may actually visit a place where your ancestors, originated from, or you may actually yearn to go there and think about booking something for the new year. I just get this energy coming through. It's a flash of energy, so it may not resonate with everyone there. Now, we do have the Ace of Wands. Again, it's in the resistance position at first, so it just feels like same old thing, different day. It just feels like you're on a cycle of repeat. You want to open up a new chapter in your life. You're so done with 2023. I feel like you are ready to move on and, achieve so much in the coming year, whatever that is, because achievement and success, it looks differently for everybody. Money is not a measure of success. And I feel you're also looking about how you feel, what's, emotionally, how can I put that? Emotionally fulfilling for you. Yeah, because I feel some of you have been feeling a little bit unfulfilled or unmotivated, and suddenly in the middle of the month, you're going to have a boost of energy, lots of ideas. There is this spark that, this lust for life that returns to you, and I feel like there's a major transformation here for you as well. You definitely transform your life, and there is a new chapter operating in your life as well. And I feel like this is a time to really dream big, because this is a bold move. The universe is sending you something or delivering you something that's going to be very exciting, and it transforms everything. And I feel like, yes, you have been going through a period of personal development and growth, but also I feel like you are learning about your capabilities. You're learning about all the potential that you have within you to achieve whatever it is you set out to do. And I feel like you're empowered because of it, okay? So it's almost like you're getting a super boost or a recharge, and you're moving on with strength to strength. Now, we also have the Temperance card as your outcome energy. Now, the Temperance card is about mixing things up, okay, to create something really special. And I really feel like you're shaking up your life in some way to do something really big or something major for you, whether it's buy a property, whether it's to go into real estate, whether it's to change your location in the world, or whether it's to activate some major move or lifestyle change that you've been contemplating for some time, but you've just needed to put all the factors in place before you action it. I definitely see that everything is coming together for you. But this is a card of, you re-examining your priorities, but also it's about you focusing on your life's meaning and purpose. And I feel like you're going to be pointed in the right direction and see lots of signs for you. I mean, if you see all your cards, they have maps all over them. And you could have got any cards. There's all these maps. So it's like the blueprint of what's next, the roadmap of life. Where are you headed? And I definitely get a sense here that you are really, I don't know if you noticed there, the candle just started flickering. There was a breeze that came in. And it's not one of my guides, actually. The butterfly. Okay. So you may see a butterfly, and there's going to be a cold spot that goes with it. That's when, an ancestor is popping in for you. And whoever pops into your mind first, that's the person who's arrived to let you know that their presence is around you and, helping you and guiding you in all your endeavors. Now, we do have the Three of Swords here, so I need to pull a card on this, because the Three of Swords, it can indicate something is difficult. It doesn't always indicate something is painful, okay? But it can indicate, especially since you've got a lot of closure cards and moving on cards in your resistance position that will turn into the upright at the end of the month, it tells me that a lot of you are moving away from pain or sadness, or you're getting closure on difficult situations. And of course, some of you may have a surgery or some sort of procedure booked for the sort of middle to end of the month, and you will be recuperating. So take the time that is necessary to do that, okay? But the Three of Swords, as you can see, the arrows are, of course, in the heart area, but the rose is forming around it. So it's like you're blossoming, you're blooming, you're turning pain to gain. And I definitely get a sense here that things are working in your favor. So let me just pull a card on this for you. I do feel there's a potential for some sort of heated debate, or a conflict where someone may say something and wound you. However, I feel it's not that this person doesn't mean it. I feel there's just a lot of stress or something, and it just feels like one of those moments where it's like a flash of saying something. It may be that they took umbrage to something that you said and they're retaliating, or vice versa. I just get this sense that it's verbal, because swords are all about the mind or communication. So let me just pull a card on this. Three of Wands. Okay. Yeah, as I said, Ten of Wands, it just feels like there's a lot of stress. And it could be someone brings something up about the past. Okay. When people get together and, they're having a great time, and then suddenly someone says something, remember that time? And it's like, oh my gosh, everybody's got a different perspective of that time. Some people thought it was a great time. Other people thought it was an awful time. Some people are really holding a grudge against that time. So I feel there's this one person who's like, yeah, I remember that time. You said this to me, and actually that hurt. And I've been wondering when you'd bring it up, because I've got something to say on it. So there may be something like that that comes up there. So I feel like you will heal it, whatever it is. Okay, so some of you, with the Three of Wands there, it can be that you're trying to action something and it's really hard won. and you've been waiting and waiting, because the Temperance card is to have patience. And I feel like you've had a lot of patience in a circumstance. And I feel like you're just waiting for either money to come through, or you're waiting for an opportunity or a wish, because the star energy indicates you're aligning yourself with a wish. And with the Wheel of Fortune, things are going to be delivered to you, and suddenly and out of nowhere. Okay. So I definitely see that some of you, you've been working really hard and you're exhausted, and you do need to take a break, and you need to get better sleep as well. The Nine of Swords is like your sleeping patterns are a little bit off. And because this can be a time period where there is nostalgia, there may be something that comes back to haunt you a little bit, or maybe on your mind. And it could be that time where someone said something that caused sadness, or it could be grief that you've been experiencing or have experienced in the past. You know, if there's someone missing at the table, for example, there may be a sadness or a lament that goes with that. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there for those of you who are experiencing that. I feel like it's a lot, right? But look out for the butterflies. Also, for some of you, it can mean that, you know, you had a breakup, or something didn't go the way you'd hoped for. Perhaps there's a separation that occurred, and family are segregated in some way or separated. And this time of year just reminds you that not everybody's together in some way. So there may be something that kind of haunts you a little bit. And again, I'm sending so much hugs and love out there for you. I'm also getting one other thing, which is some of you, there's this like inner narrative that's going on. Sometimes when things are in delay, you start to think they're not coming for you, and you start to berate yourself or feel negative that, oh yeah, of course, why would it ever show up in a good position for me? I'm always unlucky. Or, well, the universe is going to show you how lucky you are. But I feel a lot of you need to catch how you talk about yourself to yourself, because sometimes that inner narrative, it can be so negative. It can actually, you know, sabotage ourselves. So I feel like it's important to recognize that sometimes it poses a challenge, okay? Now, also, I do feel like you're going to be really busy this month, and I feel it's important to really take stock, take a pause, and revitalize your spirits before you move on. Otherwise, you're just going to completely burn yourself out, as I said there, okay? And some of you may have to be in a situation where you have to gather the strength in order to be there and be present, and you really would rather be somewhere else, okay? But I feel like you face whatever it is. So whether it's like a Christmas party at work and you think, oh, this is the last place I really want to be, or whether it's like a family reunion or a friendship meet up, I definitely get a sense here that if you really don't want to go to it, you're a Capricorn, and Capricorns really do not do what they don't want to do. But you may feel like you have to show face in some way, so you may have to be present. But I feel like you'll make the best out of a situation. Now, we do have the King of Cups. The King of Cups, definitely promotion vibes. So if you are looking for one, I feel like there is one available to you. But I feel you may have missed out on something before, and you thought nothing was really happening. But surprise, there is going to be a new role available. Also, the King of Cups is really about being in your feelings. Okay, the 12th house is going to influence you. You're going to feel a little bit more sensitive than usual. And I really get this sense, go big or go home, okay? And a lot of you may be thinking about your journey. You know, all the little things that you may have worried about in the past, and how, you know, they never amounted to much. There was no reason to cause anxiety for them. You know, sometimes we worry so much about something and then it works out in our favor. And it's like, oh, all of that energy was wasted. You know, there's something that's coming through very strongly, and it's not really related to the cards. It's an energy that's coming through, so I have to mention it. So maybe it's going to be relevant for someone out there. It's like thinking back to all the times that you cried tears for someone or something, and you think, what a waste of energy that was. What a waste. I could have saved my tears for something more important. There's just something like that coming through. So some of you may be looking back at emotions you gave to a situation, or where you dedicated your time and your energy, and you thought, well, that was a waste of my time. But ultimately, I see that you learned something from it. You learned to have healthier boundaries. So some of you may be triggered by something this month that makes you think about these things, but ultimately you see that you're the bigger person, and that you are your wonderful authentic self, and actually you're going to implement some self-care routines, because you are valuing yourself in a higher regard than you were in that past situation, okay? Now, the King of Cups, as you can see there, this is a lot of effort. You put your whole heart and soul into everything, and sometimes it's, really devastating when something doesn't go your way, because you put yourself all in it, and it's like you almost like raise yourself up going, I'm going to do this. And then circumstance has like smashed you down a little bit, but you keep getting back up. And I feel as you move into 2024, things are getting infinitely better for you. You're on the up. Okay. So I definitely see that you're riding that wave of life. And I definitely see that some of you may be doing something that's difficult, but you will do it with style and panache. I feel like you're prioritizing what's important. And I feel like you're reaching out, and I feel like you are achieving whatever it is that you set out to do. And I'm actually quite excited there for you. I'm just going to do a little bit more because I feel there's a little increase in your finances coming in. Thank you so much. And you're attracting more. So whether you're becoming an entrepreneur or doing a second stream of income, or some of you are looking at savvy ways to house your finances to bring in more interest or compound. We got the 7 of Cups there. So that is really about looking at your options. Okay. It's about using your imagination. Everything is a possibility. Every opportunity to dream can become a reality. So I feel like you're really looking at what you want and where to take your journey of life next. Okay. Also, the 7 of Cups can indicate some of you have been feeling a little bit scattered recently, or, I mean, we do have Neptune highly influencing us this month. So, it is a time period where we can feel a little bit lost or confused, but we do find direction, especially at the end of the month. Suddenly everything becomes clear. So some of you may be feeling a bit like that. Really interesting how Neptune, starts making moves this month where people tend to get a bit intoxicated. So I feel they're actually giving me the word intoxication. So it can, increase people's levels of intoxication this month as well. So something to be mindful for. I'm just going to pull some final cards for you before we close the reading. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? Now, some of you, if you're looking for love because you haven't found love, okay, I feel like some of you will meet someone either traveling or they are traveling. Now, a similar message came up there for another sign. I think it was Virgo. I'm not sure 100%, but it is an earth element. So I think there was a very similar message, crossover message there. And I feel this person has also been hurt in love. So they actually really appreciate love. They don't take it for granted. So if you're looking for love, I see that love is available to you. And the highest love that love has to offer is there as well. And it's so interesting. Every sign is pretty much getting this card. High on life, enjoying the moment, living in it, being present. It says extremely happy with life, living life to the fullest, excitement and happiness. And I definitely see that's something that you are striving for. And there's more of that to come in 2024. Don't get me wrong. As I said, 2024 is going to bring some hardship. Right? Some of you may hear of people leaving or companies downsizing and, people being made redundant. So there is a lot of that about, but I feel like you are navigating the waves of life. And the 10 of Pentacles tells me that you are securing your position financially to weather any storm. Look at that. This person's either launching that big ship there or the small ship. And they've chosen to go big. Go big or go home. And I definitely get a positive energy from you there as well. We've got cast out. Okay, so you can't keep accepting a bad situation, especially with that 3 of Swords there and the King of Cups. You're putting your own needs first. It says force something or a person to leave. And the final straw, something is done. It's over. You're moving away from it. You're empowering yourself and you're having the healthy boundary to say no. No is such a powerful word and we don't use it enough. Sometimes we're even afraid of hurting someone's feelings by saying no. And I feel actually you're owning that word. That came out in Scorpio reading as well. And I'm Scorpio, so that's why I remember it so much. But I feel, this is a really important word to have in your vocab because it sets a boundary and it tells people how you want to be respected. So I feel that's something that you are learning to use more in your everyday. Now we've also got small steps, and it says here, breaking it down into smaller goals, building the momentum and one step at a time. And we've also got the rise. Look at that, building from the ground up. And it says reborn as something different or rising from the ashes. So if you have experienced a disappointment, things are going to get infinitely better and you're on a trajectory that is on the up. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Oh, 2 rune. That's interesting. We have I'm loving this one. We have the home rune. So that's why your home energy was so relevant in this reading. It's also property. So some of you may be going into real estate, or you're thinking about where you live, your dwellings, and also your heritage. Okay. But also this is about mountains to climb. And I feel like you have been climbing that mountain, and I feel you're not too far from the top, and the view is good up there. So sometimes it can be lonely at the top. So remember that, to nourish your friendships and your family relationships, because they're the people who've got your back. Okay, they're the people who've been there from the very beginning. And, you know, people who are not there during difficult times, they don't deserve a place in your life when the going gets good, right? So we also have the Wheel of Fortune energy. Now, this is a rune that is called the gift, okay? So this is about, you know, a surprise fortune, or a gift from the universe. I feel like you are going to be bestowed some extra benevolence. And this could also be about partnerships, because your 7th house is also influencing you. But if you're focused on love, I feel like you're going to attract love at this time. I feel like there is a divine union available for you. If you're already with your divine counterpart, I do feel like your person may surprise you with a getaway, actually, with a holiday, or they may suggest it. And they may pay for the majority of it as well, there is what I see. But ultimately, I get a sense here that any problems that you've had, I feel like you overcome them, especially if they are of an emotional nature. I see you getting a lot of closure and healing this month. And you start 2024 as a completely new chapter, and you're ready to rise, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Capricorn. I hope something resonates there for you. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Capricorn, and love and light.